Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Career Puccino on this, well, it's bright April morning here just south of Cambridge. The idea behind Career Puccinos is just a quick boost on a Monday morning for postdoc kind. So hopefully you're armed with your cuppa. I've got a lovely little hamster mug today. Already had my first coffee accident of the day, which involved the laptop and the coffee both going flying. But thankfully, the laptop survived. The coffee, alas, didn't. This morning, we're going to be talking about mentors. And the reason that I picked this topic is that it's something that comes up a lot when I'm talking to postdocs. Is either they come to me and say, oh, I need a mentor, but haven't really got an idea of what that might involve. Or what they're describing to me is actually, you need a mentor. So I'm going to hopefully over the next 20 minutes or so lay everything out straight on the topic of what a mentor is, how to find them, how to work with them. So here we go. Let's dive in. Now, there is a little theme today to do with chicks and eggs, because yesterday, quite randomly, we became the Uber hen, mummy hen, to a mum and 12 chicks. A friend of mine was trying to move house and one of their chickens delivered that particular surprise. So we've got a house full of baby chicks at the minute. So that might explain my choice of slides this morning. But my first point is that a mentor is not your mummy. So this phrase comes from the Sheryl Sandberg book, Lean In, and it's aimed at women, but I think it universally applies, is that a mentor, though it might feel a bit like a parenting relationship, they're not there to sort out everything for you. They're not there to tie your shoelaces. They're not there to tell you exactly what to do. So they're not, going to literally put a plaster on your knee when you fall over. What they are there to do is to bring their experience and their expertise into a relationship with you to help you navigate your career. And we'll come on to choosing a mentor in a little bit. But what this mentorship relationship is about them providing some advice. So different to perhaps a coaching relationship where the coach is trying to get you to develop your own solutions and drawing that out of you. With a mentor, it is probably a bit more advice in there. So when I help people with applications, it's probably more mentoring than coaching, I would say, because I'm bringing my experience to bear. I've said, this has worked in the past. Why don't you try this? So that's what a mentor is. They can be really, really, really senior. So something like, if we're in academia, which if you're all postdocs, you will be, like a professor, or they can be someone a little bit ahead, just a little bit ahead. And there are two sides to that coin. A professor is going to have, depending on how old they are, but they're going to have a good swathe of experience that they can bring to bear. So they will have seen a lot, they will have done a lot, they will have had a vast array of experiences which they can then go, oh, actually I've seen this before. So that's the senior side of it. The flip side of that is that if they became a professor 10 years 20 years ago, academia has changed a huge amount. Since I was a PhD student, we've gone over this massive expansion with the number of postdocs and PhDs. We're in a very different situation tenure-wise in the UK, and that's without everything that's happened in the past year going on, which is why I think a mentor who might be 5-10 years ahead of you might have a bit more to say that is pertinent to the situation now. So once I overheard two professors where they have coffee at Imperial, and they were having a right moan. I mean, it wasn't really overhearing because they were speaking quite loud, but they were having a right moan about their junior staff, saying that they're just concerned with tenure and they're just concerned with making the contract permanent. They don't get on with the research. It was a generational gap rather than a problem with either side. So that's why I'm thinking, pick your mentor for the particular aspect that you want them to help you with. If it's, I want someone to give me that big picture, then someone who's been in academia for several decades can absolutely do that. If it's, I want someone to help me just navigate that next step, then someone who's done that, look at this service, then someone who's done that very recently will absolutely be able to help you navigate, and perhaps will let you look at their application and various other things. So they're not your mummy, they're there to help bring their experience to bear in your life. Chemistry. So I had to get some science in, didn't I, this morning? So making sure that you're going to click with your mentor is really important. And I found this book called Miss Moneypenny's Career Advice for Ambitious Women. So it's someone who writes for the Financial Times. But again, just because the book's written for women, I think the advice is great. And what she says here is she applies 3 filters to people in her network. And I think these are fantastic filters for a mentor. So the first one is, do I like this person? You're going to be having a one-to-one with this person at some point, kind of monthly, bi-monthly, half a year, whatever it is that you've decided, but you need to get on with them. Okay, so you need to like them. They probably need to like you. So this chemistry is really important. So do I like them? Do I enjoy their company? A classic question. Would I be happy if they were stuck on a train journey to Scotland with them? Which I'm assuming this lady was starting in London. That's quite a long journey. The second one is, do I admire this person? Do I admire their achievements, skills, or something else about them? And this is about thinking, what is attracting me to this person as a mentor? So what skills and experiences have they had that I really need to know about so that they can help me? Okay. So yes, we have to get on and we have to have that chemical bond, but they also need to be able to deliver something that is meaningful to you. If you pick someone who, has nothing to do with the field that you're in, doesn't understand your job, they're not going to be able to help you necessarily. Different to a coach. So coaches are trained to draw stuff out to people. They don't need to be an expert in that particular industry. Quite often they will pick industries that they're aligned to. But that's where, again, coaching and mentoring is a bit different. And the final one I think is really important is, do I trust this person? Mrs. Moneypenny says this might be gut instinct at first, but will ultimately be based on experience. I usually have to meet them several times. So my advice for picking a mentor is, firstly, go and find someone who has those skills and experiences that can help you. Now, they might be like you. So they might be, in my case, a female, a physicist. They might have children. I might try and match completely, or they might be completely different. So I've had some fantastic male colleagues in the past who have been really good and helpful mentors to me. And we've both been in the training industry, but we've been in very different sectors, but they've still provided some really great advice and help and mentorship. So thinking about who you pick, but they need to be able to offer you something. You need to get on with them. And yeah, male or female, it's up to you, whatever you feel most comfortable. We'll come on to the next point, which is, told you there was a chick theme in here, is you can have more than one. There is no written rule in the universe that says you can only have one mentor. Now, if you're going down the official mentorship scheme, so if your university runs one, they probably will say, yeah, you can only have one mentor because they're trying to match people together. But my experience, certainly throughout my career and people I've worked with where they've used mentors successfully, is that they've had several. And different mentors bring different things to the table. So just in the same way that if you were doing some research, you probably just wouldn't read one paper on the subject. You'd read around, you'd read several papers, and then you'd draw together your own hypothesis based on that. So with mentors, I think you can look at people who bring different aspects into your world. So I have currently someone who I can go to with all things business, and also some personal stuff. So she's fantastic, very much probably my top mentor in there. I've got other people who I can go to about understanding the university sector and what's currently happening. So they're really plumbed into the vibe. Wouldn't necessarily go to them with a business problem because they're in a university, so they don't understand that small business side of things. And then got other people who I could tap into to talk about coaching in more detail, training design, all sorts of people who are out there. And some of these people I will absolutely talk to very regularly. So my primary mentor, I've actually signed up to be part of a program with her. So I see her effectively twice a month. And that's really helpful in keeping me on track. But if you think about, if we're thinking about academia, people move around. And I know that currently our mentoring conversations are going to be over, virtual communication, very much like this. But people's attention shifts as well. So if someone is, say, mentoring you and they were a fellow, but they've just moved to be a new lecturer at the university, they might have a super busy time ahead of them. And so therefore, they might not have the time and space for that mentoring relationship in quite the same way. So because we move around and because our careers are in flux, I'm very much a believer of everyone has the right time for a certain person in their life. And so, it's okay for a mentoring relationship to end, hopefully not fizzle out, a mutually agreed end, and picking up someone else, because you change. You're not going to be the same person in 5 years' time as you are now. You will have moved on in your career. You're all super fantastic. So, goodness knows what you'll be doing. Probably be running the world in 5 years' time. Don't forget me when you're there. But thinking, kind of making sure that you've got, 2 or 3 people at least that you can call on. So that should one person not be available, you can get the help that you need. So that's very much about not containing ourselves. And I love this slide. I think the pink and yellow were very springtime this morning, spoke to me. But mentors are giving up time. Now, how much time is up to you. People are very busy. And so, small chunks of time rather than can we meet twice a year for a whole day, actually an hour a month might be much more manageable. So thinking about the time that you can spend, but also they can spend, and then absolutely making that time count. So simple things like, being on time, not cancelling, not moving things around, being someone easy to mentor. But the other side of valuing the time is if they've suggested something, so it might be, I don't know, they've suggested a book, or they've suggested, a revamp of your CV or LinkedIn, is to put in the spade work. It says to you, not only do I value the time we have together, but I value your ideas and I value your input. If you're finding yourself fighting that and thinking, I'm not, I don't want to do that, then actually the mentoring relationship probably isn't giving you what you need. Or there might be, kind of you're really resisting changing your LinkedIn, whatever it might be. But thinking about absolutely valuing the time and the process. So be easy to mentor, but also take on their ideas. People love, what did I write here? A zesty action taker. It's one of my friend Jeanette's phrases. I absolutely love it. So if a mentor comes to you with an idea, go off and do it. They'll feel great. You'll probably feel great and move forward because their experience, that's why they're a mentor. So do that. The other side of that is bringing value yourself to the relationship. Now, you might think, well, what am I going to bring? Because I've picked this person because they're further up the academic food chain or the job food chain, or they're working in an industry where I want to move into. All those things very, very valid, but you can bring value. One of these new phrases is reverse mentoring, where you take a very junior person in the organisation and you pair them with the senior person so that the senior person really understands what it's like to be the junior person. Also, quite often, the junior person is more in touch with the day-to-day practicalities of the business. I put it to you, as a postdoc, you are probably at this point in your life the most in touch with your science day-to-day that you will ever be. Because as you add and go up that ladder, you've got people to manage, you'll be doing less of your science yourself. As you become a lecturer, you then add teaching and administrative responsibilities, all of which slowly take you away from that day-to-day. I'm not going to use the word bench science because some of you don't do that, but taking you away from that day-to-day research endeavour. So you do bring that fresh aspect to it, but there might be things that you bring to that relationship that they have no idea about. So you might be fantastic at outreach, or you might have someone in your network who could be really helpful to that person. And don't be afraid to raise that, to bring that value to the relationship. It doesn't have to be that sort of boss underling relationship at all. It's much more, there's much more parity there. You're having some really detailed conversations with these people. You're going to get to know them pretty well. They're going to get to know you pretty well. You can probably spot where you can add the value. Okay, well, that is almost me done for the day. For the 20 minutes. Do pop in either the Q&A or the chat any questions. If you need any help with thinking about mentoring things, just drop me an email and I'll see if I can answer your questions by email if you don't want to put them in the chat. Always happy to have an email. And if not, have a super week. One of the webinars that I've got coming up, Career Puccinos, is about getting people from postdoc into the finance world. And what I'd love you to do is thinking, okay, I know some people who are thinking of that. If you could point them my way, that would be great. Because I'm thinking of developing an online course for people like that. My partner in crime is in the finance world, so we thought we might bring both of our expertise together on that one. Doesn't look like there are any questions, but do drop me an email at emma@ejwsolutions.com and I will endeavour to help you. If not, have a super week. Enjoy your coffee And yeah, go and find a mentor. Let me know how it goes. See you all soon. Bye. Oh, there's a quick question if you're still on the line. How to approach a mentor? Should it happen accidentally or approach them directly? I would always approach them directly, especially in this day and age where bumping into someone is quite difficult and probably against COVID rules. So I would email them and say, look, but rather than say, I want you to be my mentor, is I'm interested in careers in this. I noticed that you've done this, this, and this. I wonder if I could have an hour of your time to just discuss my plans and what you think of them. Because that way you can have your chemistry meeting. And then if you get on, you can then move on and do sort of, then say, look, I found this really helpful. Would you be willing to meet with me once a month or once every other month to discuss this? So hopefully, Christina, that helps a little bit with that. Okay. If there are no last questions, brilliant. Thank you. Have a super week, everybody. And hopefully I will see you at my next Career Puccino. Enjoy the coffee and have a fantastic week. Bye.